For decades, the justice system treated eyewitness testimony as the gold standard of evidence. In courtrooms across the world, the words of a single witness could tip the scales of justice. A confident witness could send someone to prison, even without physical proof. In famous cases like the Lindbergh kidnapping or the Central Park Five, eyewitnesses played a pivotal role, sometimes the only role in determining guilt or innocence. The belief was simple: memory is like a video camera, capturing events exactly as they happened. This idea shaped legal systems for generations. Judges and juries trusted witnesses who seemed certain, rarely questioning their accuracy. The more confident the testimony, the more powerful its effect. The emotional impact of a victim pointing to the accused was often enough to secure a conviction. In some cases, entire prosecutions rested on a single dramatic moment of identification. But this faith in memory ignored how stress, fear, and time can distort what we recall. Studies would later show that even the most sincere witnesses can be mistaken. As a result, countless people were convicted on nothing more than a mistaken memory. Decades later, DNA evidence would reveal just how many lives were changed by errors in eyewitness accounts. It took science and the stories of the wrongly convicted to reveal that seeing isn't always believing. The legacy of eyewitness testimony is a powerful reminder of how justice can be shaped by what we think we saw. Imagine a quiet neighborhood convenience store just before midnight. The bell above the door jingles as a masked figure bursts in, waving a weapon and shouting demands. The clerk, frozen in fear, tries desperately to memorize the robber's face, catching only glimpses between the mask and the chaos. Under the harsh fluorescent lights and the threat of violence, every detail blurs together. The police arrive quickly, gathering shaky statements and grainy security footage. With little to go on, they organize a lineup. One face stands out, not because it's familiar, but because it fits the frightened memory. The clerk points. That's him. The man, John, is arrested. He was just walking home from work, unaware that his life was about to change forever. At trial, the clerk's confidence has grown. "I'll never forget that face," they insist to the jury, their voice trembling with conviction. There's no physical evidence, no fingerprints, no DNA, no stolen goods found on John. Just the unwavering certainty of a single eyewitness. The jury, moved by the clerk's certainty, finds John guilty. The gavel falls. His family is stunned. His mother sobs. His children don't understand why their father isn't coming home. John's world collapses. He loses his job, his home, and the trust of friends who once believed in him. His family is left to pick up the pieces, haunted by the injustice. This isn't rare. Across the country, innocent people have lost years, sometimes decades, to a single, honest mistake. The justice system's deep trust in eyewitnesses has shattered lives, proving that memory, especially under stress, can be dangerously unreliable. Only later, sometimes years after, does the truth come out, through new evidence, DNA testing, or a confession from the real perpetrator. By then, the damage is done. John's lost years can never be returned. One mistaken ID can destroy a life, and the pain ripples out, touching everyone who loves them. Why do these mistakes happen? Because memory isn't a recording, it's a reconstruction, as shown in countless psychological studies. Our brains store fragments, sights, sounds, emotions, then piece them together later. When we recall, we fill in gaps with assumptions or even suggestions from others. A phenomenon demonstrated in the famous Loftus and Palmer experiment, where the wording of questions changed how people remembered a car accident. Stress, fear, and poor conditions, like darkness or a weapon, make memories even less reliable. The weapon focus effect shows that witnesses often fixate on a weapon, missing other crucial details. During a crime, survival instincts override careful observation. Studies by psychologists like Elizabeth Loftus reveal how easily false memories can be implanted, especially under stress. Later, when asked to identify a suspect, our minds can fill in missing details, creating a false sense of certainty, sometimes even remembering faces that were never there, as shown in real-world wrongful conviction cases. The witness isn't lying. They truly believe their memory is accurate. In the Lost in the Mall experiment, participants recalled entire events that never happened. But science shows memory is a sketch, not a photograph. Even confident witnesses can be mistaken. Even honest people can be completely wrong. The Innocence Project has documented hundreds of wrongful convictions based on faulty eyewitness testimony. The justice system had to learn this the hard way, as DNA evidence overturned cases built on memory alone. Trusting memory alone is a recipe for error. Science and real-world cases prove it. Several psychological traps make eyewitnesses vulnerable to error. Take the story of Jennifer Thompson, who was certain she had identified her attacker, only to learn years later, through DNA evidence, that she was wrong. Her memory, like so many others, had been distorted by powerful forces. The weapon focus effect draws attention to danger, not faces, so key details are missed. In one classic study, witnesses who saw a gun remembered far less about the perpetrator's face than those who saw a harmless object. Suggestion is another culprit. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus showed how easy it is to plant false memories, sometimes with just a single word or a subtle cue from police. Subtle cues from police, like a nod or a comment, can steer a witness toward a suspect, and confidence isn't a guarantee of accuracy. Praise or reassurance can inflate a witness's certainty, even if their initial memory was shaky. Over time, memories can grow more vivid and more wrong. By the time they testify, hesitation has vanished, replaced by conviction. This is how good memories go bad. Other factors, like the cross-race effect, make identification even harder. Research shows people are less accurate at identifying faces of a different race. These are normal quirks of the mind, not signs of dishonesty. Our brains reconstruct memories, filling in gaps with guesses and outside information. Memory is shaped by stress, context, and what happens after the event. High stress can actually make memories less reliable, not more. Understanding these pitfalls is crucial to preventing wrongful convictions. Decades of research have shown how easily memory can be led astray. The system ignored them for too long. But now, science is helping us see memory for what it really is: fragile, fallible, and in need of protection. For years, the wrongfully convicted had little hope, until DNA testing and advanced forensic science changed everything. The process began with careful extraction of biological material, hair, blood, or skin cells, from old evidence. Scientists used polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, to amplify tiny DNA samples, making them readable even decades later. Organizations like the Innocence Project partnered with forensic labs, meticulously re-examining evidence using modern techniques, comparing DNA profiles from crime scenes to those of the convicted. In John's case, scientists isolated DNA from the crime scene and ran it through national databases. The results were clear. The genetic profile did not match John's. After years of waiting, John finally heard the words he'd dreamed of. Irrefutable evidence proved his innocence, and the court declared him exonerated. John's journey from despair to freedom was shared by hundreds of others. Each case revealed a pattern. Mistaken eyewitness ID, not malice, was the leading cause of wrongful convictions. The legal system could no longer ignore the science. Judges and juries began to demand forensic evidence alongside testimony. DNA analysis forced a reckoning, showing that even the most confident witness could be wrong, while science could reveal the truth. The era of blind trust in memory was over. Thanks to forensic breakthroughs and the courage of the innocent, urgent reform was finally underway. DNA exonerations sparked sweeping reforms in how eyewitness evidence is handled, leading to a new era of justice. Police lineups are now often double-blind. Officers don't know who the suspect is, preventing unintentional influence. Dr. Lisa Monroe, a leading memory researcher, explains, double-blind lineups are a game changer. They reduce the risk of suggestion and make identifications more reliable. Witnesses are now told the perpetrator may not be present, reducing pressure to choose. In the 2022 case of State versus Carter, this protocol prevented a misidentification that could have led to a wrongful conviction. Judges warned juries about the limits of memory, explaining how stress and suggestion can distort recall. As legal scholar Professor James Lee notes, jurors are now better equipped to weigh eyewitness testimony critically. Expert witnesses, psychologists, are called to explain the science of memory. In a recent New York trial, expert testimony helped the jury understand why a confident witness can still be mistaken. Many states now require corroborating evidence before convicting based on an ID alone. This protocol was crucial in the 2023 exoneration of Michael Harris, where additional evidence proved his innocence. These changes make the system fairer and more reliable, ensuring that justice is based on facts, not just memory. The goal isn't to discard eyewitnesses, but to use their testimony wisely, with safeguards that protect both the innocent and the integrity of the process. Science, not assumption, now guides the process. As Dr. Monroe says, we're finally seeing the law catch up with what science has shown for decades. The justice system is finally catching up to what research has long shown, ushering in a new era for eyewitness evidence, where truth and fairness come first. The influence of memory science now reaches far beyond the courtroom, reshaping justice, rebuilding public trust, and inspiring compassion throughout society. Every wrongful conviction is a double tragedy. An innocent person suffers, and the real perpetrator remains free. As one exoneree put it, "I lost years, but now my story helps protect others." New procedures protect witnesses from guilt and trauma, and shield the innocent from devastating mistakes. Families of both victims and the accused now find hope in a system striving for accuracy. Understanding memory's limits makes us better jurors, citizens, and neighbors. Experts predict that as research advances, legal standards will continue to evolve, making trials fairer and more reliable. It teaches humility. Confidence isn't always truth. In the future, juries may receive even more training on the science of memory, ensuring verdicts are based on evidence, not just certainty. This shift strengthens the justice system and society itself, fostering a culture where learning from science is seen as a strength. Adapting to science isn't weakness, it's progress. In the coming years, we may see technology further assist in evaluating eyewitness accounts, reducing human error. By embracing what we know about memory, we protect the innocent and uphold true justice. As one former juror shared, "Learning about memory changed how I saw the whole trial." The journey from blind faith to scientific caution is ongoing, but the future promises fewer wrongful convictions and a more just society. With every step, our system and our society grows stronger, guided by science, compassion, and the voices of those forever changed by the truth.